The sound of pages turning means it's time for another episode from the Meredith Library Podcast Studio, bringing you the library's latest news, information, and fun.
Good afternoon, Matthew.
Good afternoon, Mary Beth.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 55 of Check It Out here at the Meredith Library Podcast Studio.
Welcome back, Mary Beth. We missed you.
Oh, thank you very much, Matthew.
We're going to be talking today about Central New Hampshire Lakes Region attractions. They are part of our Museum Pass program, which means the library, the Meredith Public Library, offers discounts for all these places we're going to talk about today.
That's right. And the first one we want to talk about is the Aviation Museum of New Hampshire, celebrating flight.
Yes, and that is located in Londonderry, New Hampshire. So I don't think that's technically the Lakes region, but if you're around here, staying here somewhere, or you are a regular resident of the area, it is certainly drivable, and we do have discount passes for that attraction. You know, I guess we should mention before we even continue our list that all these attractions, or all the discounts for them, are available on the Meredith Public Library website at meredithlibrary.org, and from the front page, there's a thing that says Museum Passes /attraction discounts. And when you click on that, you get taken to a page that has photos or logos of all the different attractions and the information for each one, as well as how to get the library passes or the discounts for that particular attraction.
We are approaching our busiest time of the year, or what I consider to be our busiest time at the circulation desk. So we also want to encourage people to do that. Use our website and book in advance, because you want to be sure to make your plans, get your tickets, and then that way you're well on your way for your adventure.
Yes, exactly. There's a calendar under each attraction, and you simply book your pass for the particular day. You're reserving the pass that you need. And if the passes are already taken for that day, then the calendar grays it out. So it makes it really easy for you to see what is available. And they're also available all the way through the summer. So as you were just saying, people can make their plans ahead of time. You know the grandchildren are coming and it's the last week of July, for example. You can plan now for the places that you want to go during that time.
And also, if you're at the circulation desk, busy season, like I had mentioned previously, you won't really have to wait in line. You know, you're assured your pass and somebody can just hand it across the desk to you without, too much trouble.
Yeah, so that means if you book ahead of time online, then it's ready for you when you get to the library. And you can also pick them up ahead of time too. Like I was just using that example about the last week of July. If you reserve one of your passes now, you can come into the library and get it, no problem.
Okay, next up is the Canterbury Shaker Village.
Have you ever been to that place, Mary Beth?
I have not.
Right, I have, so it's really cool. And it is an authentic Shaker Village. So they still have many of the buildings there, and you can tour the grounds themselves as well as the buildings. And it's kind of interesting because anyone can walk around the grounds for free. But if you want to go inside the buildings and you want to take a guided tour, that is when you actually have to pay at the admissions office there. And that is what the discount passes help you get a cheaper alternative for what you have to pay.
That sounds fun. Have you ever been to the Castle in the Clouds?
I have, many, many years ago and more recently. And over the years, they've continued to do so many renovations. So that's an original estate. It's called the Lucknow Estate, I think. And it was from the early 1900s, and it used to be someone's private home, obviously. And it has changed, or been renovated rather, to restore things to the original way that it was over 100 years ago. So it's really a cool place. And the Castle in the Clouds is a great name because you really are up like on the top of that mountain, and you're looking out, and you can see the lake from many miles away, and you get amazing views up there.
I was just reading about it. It says the property spans 6,300 acres. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, isn't that amazing to think that was somebody's that was their backyard, their private residence?
You can actually get a bite to eat while you're up there. There's a little overlook where you can sit. I think it's like a cafe. You can have lunch. And
yes, and you actually can sit out on the terrace and overlook that amazing view. And it has walking trails. And at the duck pond, they even have those dispensers. I always think they look like old gumball machines. You put the money in and you can get the feed to give to the animals and stuff.
That's awesome.
And ice cream, too. There was an ice cream shack, I remember.
Next up, Currier Art Museum.
Yes, the Currier Museum of Art is actually located in Manchester. So I guess we really did expand a little beyond the Lakes region. But, if someone's staying in the area, or if you live in the area, you explore your own backyard and get out a little bit too, So Manchester is an hour away from here. Anyone who might be listening is not familiar with the area. There's a very famous museum there, obviously, this Currier Museum. And they have lots of rotating exhibits. And I know people from here do go there because people have asked for the pass.
New Hampshire is not a very large state, so I always consider like anything in the area. It's not too far of a jaunt.
Right, exactly. The next one on the list is the McAuliffe Shepherd Discovery Center. And I know you have been there, so maybe you can give us the inside scoop on that.
I would love to. So this is a discovery center that's in Concord, so towards the southern part of the state. And this is a science museum that is dedicated to Christa McAuliffe. She was the first teacher in space.
Yes, in the late 80s or the mid 80s.
Yeah, and then they have a discovery center that inspires every generation to reach for the stars through engaging and artful, entertaining activities that explore astronomy, things like aviation, earth, and space science. And then they also have the planetarium, which is really interesting, or I find really interesting. So that's a great thing to do on a rainy day.
I bet there's a lot of class trips that go there from the area too.
Probably. The pass details for this one admits up to 4 people. And then the planetarium is a separate charge. So you could come by the library to get this pass, but just remember that the planetarium would be something separate that you would have to pay for.
Okay, but it still gives you a good discount because the base becomes free, right?
Absolutely.
All right, that's awesome. The next one, I guess I'll take that one again. So it's the Mount Kearsarge Indian Museum. And I'm going to combine that one with another one also on the list called the New Hampshire Telephone Museum. And the reason I'm combining those is because they are both in the same town, Warner, W-A-R-N-E-R, Warner, New Hampshire. And they are nearby each other, obviously. So you can do both in one day. And we have passes for both of those attractions. The Indian Museum obviously tells you by its own name exactly what is contained there. And so does the Telephone Museum. And the Telephone Museum I'm a little bit more familiar with because we had a representative from the museum come to the library to do a program last year. And people loved it. They just had a great time seeing all kinds of old telephones. And it brings back all kinds of memories. From phones you had when you were a kid, or maybe that were in phone style that was in your grandmother's house. And you can see like the evolution all the way from Alexander Graham Bell inventing the phone in 1876 all the way up to us today. So it's a really fun group of people and great items to look at.
Awesome. Next up is the Museum of New Hampshire History. And this particular pass, the user must have a Meredith Library card.
That's the only pass on the entire list that requires someone to be a member of the Meredith Library. All the other passes are completely free to anyone, can be a resident of any New Hampshire town or any state in the country or even all over the world.
That's great. The New Hampshire Philharmonic Orchestra discount promo code worth 20% off the price of the ticket.
Yeah, so this one is so easy. All people have to do for this is get that promo code you just mentioned, which we already described how people need to get to our website. And the promo code is just used like any promo code for anything you buy online. All you have to do is take that code, put it into the website when you're actually purchasing the Philharmonic tickets, and it changes the price and gives you 20% off. So It's amazing.
Awesome. The next one we're going to talk about is the New Hampshire State Parks Pass.
Yeah, so this one, we always encourage people to go to the website. We've said that 10 times already in this podcast episode, but especially for the New Hampshire State Parks one, because it is not good in every single state park. There's a list of like 5 or 6 that it says they will not accept this. And I'm assuming it's because they're larger, more popular ones or something. But anyway, we always tell people, make sure you go to the website, look at the list, and make sure the park you want to go to is included, which is most of them, but there is that list of exceptions. And then it's too detailed for us to talk about here, but there is a procedure to follow for the state parks. The pass is free, and that gives you free admission. But for parking, there's this little extra thing where they want you to make sure you reserve your parking space ahead of time, and that costs $1, which does not go to the library. You're doing all that directly with the park website, but all the instructions are there, and it's very well detailed.
Petals in the Pines. I'm not familiar with this one at all.
That's because that is a brand new one that we added this year. And that's also in Canterbury. And when I talked to the owners of Petals in the Pines, I asked how close it was to Canterbury Shaker Village. And they said it was like around the corner or 2 minutes away.
That's awesome. It says here that the pass provides free admission to the Tail Trail, the Nature Explorer Outdoor Classroom, and the Labyrinths. And that sounds really interesting. Do you know anything about the Labyrinth?
The labyrinth is like gardens that are actually designed as a maze. So you would walk through them and, try to find your way through the maze. And the other thing you said, the Tail Trail. So that's Tail, T-A-L-E, although T-A-I-L seems like would make sense through the woods, right? But it's T-A-L-E. And that is a collaboration they did with the Canterbury Public Library. So I think there's 4 times throughout the season, they rotate or change the books. So it's like children's storybooks where as you're walking through the trail, the pages are up on the trees and you're constantly getting like the story as you walk along.
Oh, like a story walk.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. That's great. Squam Lake Science Center in Holderness. This is one that we've had for quite a while. This pass is valid for up to 4 $15 trail admissions every day.
Which is like half price.
Sure. Yep. And through this spectacular live animal exhibits, nature, science, educational programs. Did I ramble on that one a little bit?
Well, you know a lot about it because you've been there. So what is your favorite part about going to the Squam Lake Science Center?
Well, I love the outdoor trails that kind of interweave or they're interwoven into the wildlife's natural environment. So you could be walking along the live animal exhibit and see an owl. You can see a bobcat. It's just a great way to be close to the lake and outside. And they have a public garden and they have a nature-based Montessori early learning center. I don't know. It's hard for me to choose my favorite part because it's so interactive and it's centered around nature. So they have a science center, sensory inclusive certified area, which is nice. So this pass can be picked up in advance. We, again, want people to try to book advance online. So we'll also plug that.
Okay.
What's next after that? The Wright Museum.
Yes, the Wright Museum is a World War II museum, which is located in Wolfboro. So it is across the lake. You can either take a water taxi or you can drive around the lake and enjoy the small towns. I'd say it's about half an hour from here, give or take. The museum features things going on during World War II, and they have both rotating and permanent exhibits. And they also do a lot of programs too. Like they do talks there as well, just like the library has guest speakers come in and talk about topics based on that time frame. So there's a lot to check out there as well.
This pass admits 2 adults and 4 children under the age of 18, as well as provides a 10% off in the gift shop.
Right, so that's fun. You always want to take home souvenirs too. And that makes me think if people are coming in, especially if tourists are listening to this, we have lots of souvenirs here at the library. Right now, as of this recording in June, we're selling t-shirts. We have 125th anniversary gift packs for sale. We have vintage media, some books and DVDs. So there's all kinds of fun stuff around the circulation desk too, to take home as a memento of your time visiting the Meredith Public Library.
And then just one last piece we want to mention. Due to the generosity of the Friends of the Meredith Library, we offer these free or discounted passes for some of New Hampshire's most popular attractions. We are very thankful for our friends.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. And that's right. They fund all those things. So I wonder if people don't realize how these things work in the past. I guess we can give them the 20-second explanation here. When a library or an organization has what's called a museum pass or an attraction pass, the organization is usually paying something up front for that, right? So it might cost us, let's say, $200 for one of these things. And so the library has to pay that at the beginning of the season, and that money would be coming from the Friends, like from their fundraisers. So that's where that money goes directly to pay for library programs such as these. So anyway, so let's say it cost us $200. So we'd pay an organization that at the beginning of the season, and then we're able to issue these passes throughout the season. And if you kind of think about it, right, if the passes are letting people in for free admission or something, I mean, that adds up so fast, so it saves money for families and it really adds up so quickly for what we're getting out of it. So even though it might cost us $200, we're getting a lot more than that worth of admission from the attraction. So it's really a great bargain for everybody all around.
Yeah, we're very appreciative of that.
Absolutely. All right, Mary Beth, I think that wraps up our tour of local attractions here in the Lakes region and beyond.
It's been a fun little podcast today, mentioning all of those.
Always. It's always fun talking to you, Mary Beth.
To you as well, Matthew.
Goodbye, Mary Beth.
Goodbye, Matthew.
Goodbye, everyone. Podcast music theme. Copyright 2026. Written by Matthew W. Grant, BMI. Used by permission.
Podcast copyright 2026. Meredith Library Podcast Studio.